Okay, Leo. So if we start from the very beginning, this is the beginning of the month and we're just generally working through towards the end of the month there. So your one major arcana card is your Hermit card. Now he often gives us the feeling of taking some time out or retrieving into your inner psyche. Interestingly enough, see what's sitting right above it as well. It's as if there might be a period in May at the beginning where you want to just be yourself and be on your own a bit. Maybe contemplate life or situations in your life or directions that you're going in. Oftentimes the Hermit, because he's one of the major arcanas, and you know my thoughts on that by now, I'm sure, that when these turn up, it's as if the universe is directing something that's going to happen more than you controlling it. So it might just be a situation that crops up, or a certain pathway that you're heading down, or people in your life right at the moment that are there for a specific reason. They are all going towards making the path and the journey of the you that you are. But sometimes we do need to contemplate exactly, do we go down the high road or the low road? Do we go with this person or that option? And that's what the Hermit can indicate. If we look at it from a health perspective, he can give the feeling that you might be, I don't know, a little bit somber or just down maybe, and it is often a beautiful time to reconnect at your core level or your soul level. It's a time for rebalancing your physical body. It can be attending to more sleep, having more rest and eating well, and making sure your diet is right. It can also be a time when you might be letting things go from the past that you literally no longer serve you, or that they are moving out and away from you. As I say, possibly not by your own choice, but it's just happening and you can feel it sort of easing away. Often after spending a little bit of time in either meditation or thinking about the directions that you want to go in, the Hermit gives us the light that we seek. He reinstigates the energy and the light and the path moving forward, and sometimes your positions or your choices you make will become clearer after spending a little bit of this time with his sort of energies. Now we come next to the Ten of Wands, sort of the second week of May if you like, and we see this guy here, he's labouring away like nothing, isn't he? So we've almost gone from this sort of reticent feeling and inner peace and solitude to this out here. He's back in the full sun and he's working away really hard, and it is sort of your Leo energy. Leo's is the fire sign. You're known for your strength and determination and willpower, and this card actually exudes all of that. But what it can suggest again is that you may still have a little bit too much on your shoulders, so you may either have a lot going on or a lot of options still around you, which might be why you ended up here in the first week trying to sort some of that out. I always think that this is a great position to be in reality, because if we didn't have all this stuff going on in our lives, we'd probably be pretty bored and be thinking, oh, nothing's happening. You know, I've got no choices, I've got no options. So I always think when we've got options and choices and activity and people to think of and things to do, it means that we're fully engaged. We're as engaged as we can be in our lives. But again, it's a little bit of a message of just pace yourself, make sure you're not taking on more than you can cope with. And also this can be an energy of taking on other people's worries or helping to support them. So there may be some people in your life around you that really do need your help in the month of May, and you will be a great person to offer support for them. But as I say, just balance the load. Do what he's doing. He's balancing it well enough. He can carry all of these 10 wands quite stealthily, and he's still moving forward at the same time. So I guess from my perspective, it could be a card that there could be options or offerings coming to you. You may be looking for a job, and you could have a couple of job offers in the potentiality of looking into. Or there could be other people in your life that you feel that are depending on you and that you have to support. Or there could just be so many jolly things you've got on your mind, literally a whole bunch of stuff. You're just not sure how to balance it all. So take the time and do that. This one, when we come to the 3rd week of May, we see this gorgeous 9 of Pentacles. Look at her, she's, you know, quite happy counting her money. It reminds me of the old nursery rhyme, the king is in his parlour counting out his money. It's a little bit like her. She signifies wealth, and she signifies being satisfied with the wealth around her. So we think of this card as primarily, I guess, your financial sector. And your finances, in theory, when this card appears, should be running along kind of steady, or showing us that you've made some sort of gains in your financial sector. You may have even had an increase in money coming in, or you might be figuring out how to invest money that you've got put aside. You might be thinking about, whether do I put it into the stock market, because the stock market's kind of doing quite well at the moment in certain areas. You might be thinking of investing in money, overseas money. I can tell you now, the Australian dollar's a fairly good one to buy right now. So there might be thoughts like that you could be contemplating. Health-wise, she's would show sunny health. So if you've had some health issues, which you may have had at the beginning of May, they should be ebbing away a bit and balancing out a little bit more, and bringing in the sunny vibration, which always helps us to feel better, re-energizes us at all the levels, cellular, emotional and physical. You know, the sun is such an amazing healing tool, and in centuries gone by, it was one of the first points of healing that people used for wounds, for depression, for mood issues, and we've sort of forgotten that as we've moved through into the current way we live, especially in the Western world. But the sun is a great healer, one well worth getting out into, and that could be another message of that card. Get outdoors as much as you can and enjoy your weather and your seasons, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. We come to this card and we see the 7 of Pentacles, and look, I hadn't thought of this before, but it's giving us the same message again. They're almost identical. This beautiful stack of money that he's looking there, contemplating and feeling quite proud of. So for various perspectives, we can think again, it's money. It's that either that you might come into some money, or you're going to buy something, or invest in one way or another. And it would seem that the end of May could work out quite well for you to look into these particular areas. And as I say, as a personal little tip, if you've got some money, I'd be buying Australian dollars at the moment. It's a fairly good, especially for New Zealanders anyhow, it's a fairly good buying point at the moment, because the Australian economy is in a little bit of a downturn. So let's just have a look at some other perspectives of those cards. I do think that basically these two point quite strongly to some sort of, I can't get past the fact that they're pointing to some sort of financial stability or reward of some sort that either comes your way in the latter part of May or is there for you to uplift and enjoy. It can also just be the rewards of being satisfied in your job or career, and knowing that you are rewarded from that perspective, that your job should be rolling along quite safe and that you're well thought of in your job. You know, it's like this, the hard-working person who everyone appreciates in life. They're useful, they're grounded, they're capable of being important to others, and they make quite good, right, healthy decisions. So overall, Leo, you've got a little bit of an inner start and maybe a bit of stress factor going on here in the beginning of your reading, but towards the end it seems to pan out and feel a lot more solid and stable. So let's look at some other cards that I'm going to be doing for the readings. These are these lovely cards by Tony Celerino. Now, they're quite good for getting into our inner perspective thoughts and feelings and emotions that we often don't necessarily talk about in public, or nut out too difficult or too much even with our own selves. So I sort of call them the cards that can get to the shadow energies in our life. Things that we do need to think about and address, but as I say, often we don't. So let's see what comes up here for you guys. Angel of Prayer. Ask the universe and the angels will help. and offer guidance. So if you've been feeling stressed or worried about a particular subject or topic matter, know that you're never alone, and know that when you connect with a higher perspective, or you go out slightly from yourself and you connect with the universe, some people call it a God or creator or whoever it is or whatever it is that resonates with you, that you feel you can just connect with and pass along your prayers, maybe it is the word, it says the angel of prayer, and you can ask for help, universal help, in sorting out what it is that's bothering you. And once you ask, it's a little bit like that other saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, or something like that. I can't quite recall it. But when you put out your intentions, or you put out your desire for help in resolving a situation, you're asking the universe to collaborate with you, and you've got so many more options that will be opened up for you to look into and try to figure out a way to solve it. Often when it's just yourself, you feel very alone and you feel like, oh my God, I just can't find a way out of this and I don't know which way to go. Whereas, as I say, if you ask and you open it right out to the universe, you'll be surprised at the possible outcomes that are out there for you that you may not have thought of, or couldn't see, or just didn't believe would be able to happen. So open yourself up to that beautiful essence of sharing your problem. Doesn't have to be with a person, but just share it with yourself and the universe, and ask for resolve, because it does work. It really, really does. And you have to have a bit of faith that it'll work too. So one more for you. Goddess of Oneness. It's very interesting that these cards seem to be repeating themselves within the readings quite a lot. Now this is an interesting one. It has two meanings, this card. This is saying that someone you love is thinking very fondly of you. So I've said in another reading, it can be that literally the fact that you are cherished, and know that too. And there was that feeling coming through your readings with the beautiful Nine of Pentacles, that, you know, the woman with, she offers so much of that love and harmony and happiness and peace. This person or someone around you feels that about you. Now they can be a new person coming into your life too, who you'll connect with, who will feel this, or it will be someone who can offer you this support system, exactly like a tree, just holding and nurturing and offering you strength and support for whatever it is that you ask for. And as well, this card can be from deceased past relatives or friends that are very dear to you, and know that they're still with you, even though they've just crossed to the other side of life that we can't see. They still love you, and they still put out that beautiful vibration and essence of support and nurturing. It's just that sometimes we can't feel it in the physical plane. But know that you're not alone, and the people that you've loved before, that love is endless. It goes forever. So there you are, Leo. It's quite an intense little reading for you guys, isn't it? Let me just finish off with one of the Atlantis cards, the lovely white light, because everyone else is getting them, so I don't see why you guys shouldn't. It's kind of how it's going. Okay, I'm just going to pull this one here. Meditation, Jophiel. Well, it looks as though there will be some advantage for you guys to connect with that meditative essence of life, and that seemed to be the beginning message with the Hermit card at the very beginning of the reading. It is a beautiful place to contemplate your pathway forward, to recharge your soul, to get energy from places that you didn't know that existed, to balance your physical, emotional and spiritual body. Meditation is like a full-on exercise if it's done really well. It's powerful, it's unifying, and it's a peaceful connection to your inner being. And in reality, that's what we're actually here for, to kind of make sure we're fully connected at all levels. So there you are, Leo. I wish you some great meditation time and some enjoyment with that. I know as a fire sign it can be hard to slow down and appreciate the quiet side of life, but I think sometimes that's when you'll get the biggest treasures of connection. Okay guys, you have a great May. I wish you the very best. Thanks for following and liking and leaving your comments. and I'll catch you in June. Kia kaha and much aroha.